behind you, by the way. We're live for our weekly Reptales.
Hey.
And as you all know, we're just a group of fish keepers that also keep reptiles and are anxious to learn more through guests and topic chats about keeping them and all that stuff, and the dogs getting into the cat food. And so what are we do not have a guest lined up for tonight. We have some really good ones coming up though, but we don't have one for tonight. So what do y'all think should be our topic for tonight?
I like that. Let's check with the chat.
Does anybody have any new reptile that they want to talk about or learn more about?
I have a new reptile.
What do you got?
I was just rehomed to me a beautiful red bearded dragon, about 2 years old, a female.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Little chunker, we call her Sunshine.
Can we see her?
Yeah. Yes, you can. I'm so lovey-dovey with her.
I kind of hope some people in the chat might be interested in showing their reptiles or talking about them.
Not your turn, Sophie. Not your turn. It's for Sunshine. This is Sunshine.
How old is she?
She's about 2, I think. And she's beautiful. She's like a chunker, like a beautiful red, chunky girl.
She's pretty.
Yeah,
she's quite pretty. I like the rosy cheeks.
Hi, baby.
Now, she looks kind of goldish orange.
She is gorgeous.
Are the females not as red as the males, or?
No, I just think it's a matter. But if I did this and I did a check with my granddaughter, we were doing it as a part of our science, telling the genders of bearded dragons. So we went through all my bearded dragons so she could identify the males and females from the femoral pores. And this is definitely a female.
Awesome. And how old did you say she was?
I'm going to guess at like 2 or 3.
Because she's still pretty young. How long do they live?
My other one was 12 when she died, and I thought she was like an old lady.
Yeah, that's what, seems like that's what I've heard, like 12, 13, 14 is getting up there. So what was the reason, since we're like going to get into this topic a little bit, in the reasons for adoptions and stuff like that? So what, do you know the reason that they...
Yeah, something happened and his lifestyle changed and he had to take on a second job. So working almost 2 full-time jobs and having children, he's like, I can't give the reptile the attention. Like he could throw bugs in, but he couldn't give her the attention. So I said, absolutely. And he actually drove an hour and a half just to make sure that she got a good home. So that was really nice. And getting the whole 55-gallon setup.
Nice.
See that right there? I don't know if you could see it. All right.
Has she always been by herself, or do you know?
She has always been by herself. And he said she laid eggs. So I do have a leatherback male, Bagel, who is ready for breeding. So I might just have my hand at breeding bearded dragons next season. So I think that would be amazing.
That would be. Take us along on the journey.
Yeah, I think that would be good. And I always have a couple breeders at the reptile show that would gladly, if it was too much for me, take them. But I think I have enough friends that are interested in getting bearded dragons that I probably wouldn't sell them the babies. I would probably give them to I'm not breeding for profit. Aww.
Cool.
So she's very to me, this is very hyper. My other bearded dragons just chillax and she always wants to get as high as possible. So I don't, maybe because she's only been with me a short time, she's still not used to everything. And she might not be used to being handled as much
Yeah.
if he was busy. So
Right.
I'm a big handler of my beardies. Like I'll put him on my shoulder and walk around while I, take care of the different enclosures and stuff. I just don't handle him when the cat's out because my cat is a kitten and I have
Oh,
no
oh,
trust
that
there. I have absolutely no trust because she's a very good kitten with very good instincts.
Yeah.
And I would hate to see something happen or even traumatized because they're prey. They're prey. And I don't know if you guys know, I know you know, Bob, he's got that third eye on the top of their head. So they see shadows and things from above.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like a killifish, sort of.
Yep. But I don't think any of my other bearded dragons have ever been that chunky. Like, wow. Like she's even got a little fatty pits here. So pretty
What is
interesting. I'm pretty excited and I'm thrilled.
what
And
is
I
she
know
doing?
it's been a topic that we don't really talk about much, except for when we get a reptile. Like if somebody gave us a reptile, then we care about it a little bit. But I thought we could talk a little bit about that. But I know I have a third eye, Andrew says. But we can find out from the chat what they want. If they have a topic.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah, Paul, I knew you would like her.
Yeah, oh
So
my
I know
God.
that Bob's gotten at least a couple rescued reptiles. Number one being the snake that he got after Nathan passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Does that
because he
kind of like
passed.
start the whole thing, Bob?
Well, I had Nelson, the uh, Indonesian blue tongue. Then I had him about 6 months, I guess.
Right.
But then that started the whole thing with getting more reptiles and getting
Right.
snakes, and yeah. But he was going to be put outside in Mississippi because nobody in the family there wanted him, and a couple of our fish fam, Chattanooga Ed and Fisher and Fever James, went over to break down Nathan's tanks and bring his fish and tanks back, and so they brought the snake to me. Little bitty thing.
Yeah, I know Lucky was asking if she eats her greens. She didn't eat the dandelions, but we had some 4 or 5 other kinds of greens so far. She's eaten everything. And I had like 15 dubia roaches in her tank, and I left them in there. It's underneath about 3 or 4 inches of dirt. She goes digging for them. I'm like,
Oh
okay,
wow!
okay. So, but yeah, she's pretty good with her vegetables, and she's because I never get the same kind of greens. Like I got mustard greens and whatever they have. I've got an amazing farmers market right down the road, and it's not food I've ever eaten before. And they have the cactus pads, so I get
Oh
the big
wow!
cactus pads, and I just peel off like 2 swipes to get the sharp stuff off, and I dice them up because everybody loves those. All the tortoises.
Oh, what are they like? Those teddy bear cactus?
Yep,
Yep.
they're all like big and juicy like aloe vera.
Yeah, people eat those, but I never really could get into it because they're a little bit slimy. But yeah, they're good to eat, I guess. But that's cool that you can just go get some.
I love that store. And I've been thinking about asking them if I can go to their dumpster and just take some of because their stuff that they put out is always green. And I know they got to take off at least a layer of everything that they bag up. My guys will eat that layer. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect for them. I'd be fine with that because I'm doing probably 2 heads a day between the tortoises, the birds, the reptiles, the rabbit.
Oh wow.
There's so many of my animals that just love the greens. I call it lettuce, but I don't actually ever use iceberg lettuce. And I
Right.
try to stay away from kale and spinach because I've heard they can carry away more nutrients than they deposit.
Oh, okay.
So And then once I heard that, I said, well, that's why I don't eat that.
Yeah, I've read that about spinach before too.
Did you? Okay, good. Yeah, sometimes I hear these things and just trust them without doing a lot of research until somebody else tells me that's an old wives' tale or something. But they have, and but he came with pellets. My other beardies don't eat pellets, so I gave all my bearded dragon shared his pellets, and
Yeah.
I'd say 50% of them ate them.
Oh wow,
That's
cool.
interesting. So I'm gonna go get some pellets. What a great like substitute. I know my blue tongue skink. I keep like dry kibble in their enclosure all the time on top of what I give them their moist food. But I never thought to do that with the bearded dragons.
Awesome.
Might give them some vitamins that they're missing with other stuff too.
Exactly. That's a
It's
good point.
always good to have a good variety.
Yeah.
And if they're specifically made for the beardies, then they probably have some
Mhm.
extra stuff in there.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just got a new mix that I haven't tried. I've tried a couple of the greens in it before. It's turnip greens, collard greens, and some other kind of greens like that. They're three mixed equal amounts.
okay.
And I thought I'll try this, and you know what he did? He picked out two kinds, but left one kind.
It'd be
So
interesting. What kind did he leave behind?
I think it's the turnip greens, but he used to eat those, and then he quit. When he was real little, he would eat turnip greens.
Okay. My tortoises love the turnip greens. Love them.
I do too. I love them. I love them cooked. I'm wondering if that's Melvin, the Legacy Explorer.
I got a feeling it is.
Well, hello,
Oh,
Legacy.
maybe it
Is
is.
that you, Melvin?
Andrew says he drinks dandelion tea because it flushes the body out too.
Yeah, dandelions are supposed to be super, super good for you.
Huh. Yeah. I haven't found my bearded dragons to be picky. They're only picky when they're babies. They just want to eat like bugs all the time. So it's just like any toddler trying to get them to eat their vegetables. Got to be creative.
I've got a problem with my giant day geckos in that the plastic. It's a conversion kit, and it's that plexiglass or acrylic lid, and they're in a 10-gallon, and I just leave the key in it because you lock it and unlock it, and it's got two other little locks that you can move manually. Well, today when I started to miss them this morning, the key is gone. So that's one of the cats, and I have to look really good. Yeah, I swept in there and I didn't find it, so I hope it didn't go down. But I've got several of them, but I don't remember where I put them.
Okay.
So I was able to miss them through the vents, but I'll have to be able to get it open to feed them.
You have black electrical tape? That might look nice and keep it closed.
It might turn the lock too. I don't know.
Yeah.
The locks are all the same. They're exactly the same. I've got a couple of the keys, but I don't remember where I put them.
I forget which ones are in my enclosures. I think it's a Zoom Ed. The thing always breaks on them. All of mine. Every one of them. I have to come up with a workaround. I don't know. I shouldn't say Zoom Ed. I'm not sure which kind it was. It's either the Exoterra or the Zoom Ed. But the little latch is always breaking on all of mine. I'm like, great. Now I got to make sure because all it takes is it for it to be unlocked and they jump on the glass and they're just going to open the door. Not like they're trying to get out, but it's going to happen.
These guys are super tame. They were tame when I got them, and I've got them now eating out of my hand. I put my hand in with one super worm or cricket on it or whatever, and they each would jump down and grab it and then jump off.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
Couldn't believe it.
That's got to be a great feeling.
It is. Until they jump this way, it'll be good. But they're super fast. They're growing like a weed too. My bearded dragon's eating a mixture of food now, but she still goes crazy for bugs. Paul, you need to come on and show that bearded dragon.
Oh my gosh, yes, Paul. And you got a new baby today too. I think you got a flower horn, right?
I saw that, named Henry, I think.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's a nice wet pet, let me tell you. The big ones like the flower horn, the Trimax, the Oscars. What are the big ones that you have? Do they have that personality too? What do
Who,
you have?
me?
Yeah,
Me?
you have some very big.
Uh, the Severums and the Pacus,
Oh, the
and
Severums do. I know that.
yeah, and some of the Geos I've got they're just really they're pretty calm, I think, for what they are.
Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne.
Well, can I tell you a horrible story that happened with my girlfriend's tank? Now, remember, I was sick for about 10 days a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she asked me if I could help her clean out her tank. I'm like, sure I can, but I have to get better first. And I'll be right over. She just wanted me to help her with water change. So she did like a 50% water change using outside hose water, didn't use
Wow.
water conditioner. Then she called me up frantic. I was sick in bed. I could not get out for the life of me. I said, get the water out of there, put in conditioner, add the same temperature water. And we had gone over this before, but I was just I felt responsible, even though I know I'm not. But I felt horrible that she lost probably 80% of her fish in her 75
Oh
gallon.
God.
What
And
did
she
she
had a
have?
Geo. She had a Geo that was pretty big. A Geo, I guess, I think it was a Brazilian.
Yep.
And she had a couple of clown loaches that were starting to put on a little size. And I think her coolie loaches survived fine. I said, that's probably because they're still on the bottom underneath the sand. They're hiding. Oh my
Probably
gosh.
wearing their little
Oh, they're
muffs.
pretty big ones. Oh, giant Danios. They're probably at least 5 inches. I was so sad. I was so sad because it was a rookie mistake, and she's a rookie, so it's not like she did anything purpose. She just forgot the part about water conditioner, and she saw me changing the water using the hose, but it was 85 degrees outside when I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, so, but anyway, I know that's not reptiles, but I just had your
Oh
story.
well, things
Geos.
coming in and out. So
Yeah,
we are fish keepers, so
we are.
for sure.
And I'm telling you, I go back and forth. No, I love the reptiles more. No, I love the fish more. I just like them all. I can't decide. But I figure I don't have to decide, right? I could just
Right.
enjoy all my babies right now.
Right. It's not a tumor. Flowerhorns are supposed to look like that. Yeah.
It's not a tumor. It's a tumor. That's funny.
It is funny. So, has anybody else in the chat or anybody? I was trying to think if I had anything rehomed. The most recent thing were these three geckos, leopard geckos. I had considered getting leopard geckos, and I think they're cool, especially now that I have them. But with limited space, I thought, I'd rather have another snake or this or that. But then one came to the Ark, and it's really cool. It's big. And then I got two others from the local fish store, the local pet store. They do reptiles too, that somebody brought in, and they weren't taken care of. And said their dad wasn't taking care of them. Some guy brought them. So they're doing cool. They really settled down. I enjoy watching them. They're really cool when they are stalking a cricket or a worm or something, and they do their little tail, wiggle their tail, and they're really super cool.
Do they let you handle them?
I haven't tried the two new ones. They were fighting when I first got them, and that was another thing. They had them together.
Oh no!
They didn't bring an enclosure or anything with them. They said at the store. So then that took two of my fish tanks. But I haven't tried since I got them and separate them because they were so jazzed up.
Yeah.
I've
had mine now for a little over a year, and I could put my hand in the tank and I just keep it there. And after about 10 minutes, she'll walk over it. I still haven't tried to pick her up yet. I want her to trust that my hand won't hurt her.
Now, they will take food from my fingers, like a worm. They'll take that from my fingers. Tongues, they seem to be afraid of, so I don't know.
Careful, they got razor sharp teeth, man. I got attacked by a screaming gecko.
Well, I told Pam, I said, don't say anything. I think I told her this when I first got him, but the male, the one that was fighting the other one, he bit the out of me. They do bite real hard, and that's another reason I've forgotten that I haven't. I was like, I can't believe that little thing could bite that hard. Um,
Oh
but
yeah.
it was like slamming the car door on your finger. That kind of hurt, real hard. So yeah, I haven't tried to pick them up, but they've settled down. They'll take food from me. They're dispatchers when I had a studio apartment and baked goodies back then. I have no idea what he's talking about, right?
So I have another off-topic thing, if I could.
Yes.
My severe macaw, Sophie, no, fall and spring gets hormonal. Basically, she gets kind of horny, and if you touch her the wrong way, you just got to back off and let her be, because then she gets frustrated and she's like psychotic. Anyway, twice a year, I can relate to her, so I'm like, okay, I'll let you be. You're good, everything. But that seems to have passed for the fall, and she has become like nice. She is flying on my granddaughter's shoulder. She is flying to the bed, walking around on the bedspread. She has flown to me and sat on my shoulder without attacking me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this new Sophie. Oh, I do. But I get so worried with birds. They have this tendency, if they're sick, they hide it. Once you see a symptom in a bird, it's probably too late.
Yeah. There's animals like that. Cats are like that too.
Yeah.
Cats, if they show you they're sick, they're really sick
They're
because
really,
they'll
it's
hide it.
bad,
Yeah.
right.
And it's probably too late by the time you realize they're sick.
So of course, my negative thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if she's really sick and she just wants loving right now? And then I'm like, oh my God, just stop. Stop. But I thought that was pretty exciting. Like, it feels like there's so much going on in my fish room and reptile room. And with Sophie, it just so much is going on because I brought everybody in for the winter. They're all in their temporary enclosures downstairs. My sulcata last year was this big this year.
Oh, nice.
It's like, whew, I might just get him a ramp so he can come out of his enclosure and walk around the basement floor because he's getting so big. So like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. So much going on. But I still don't have the room set up yet. The reptile room.
Oh, really?
I still have to work on the electricity so there's no daisy chain. Like actually hardwire the boxes in so that this whole front line is all going to be timered, and the one underneath is the steady. And then I want to use the 20-gallon that's in with the Chinese water dragon as the basin for the misting system. So then I just have to keep filling up the 20-gallon. It's got some like glow Danios in it, I think. I'll just have to keep filling that, and that'll be the misting system for the whole reptile room.
Oh, nice.
That's where I want to get to. It's not there now. I'm still doing it old school and misting, and I'm definitely not misting enough. It should be like twice a day, and it's like, really should get on this system.
I have to go ahead and mist when I first get up. If I don't, then I get into other stuff. And
So fast.
Thomas Tibble said that he lost his angel tank geos.
Oh no.
Power trip water. Wow. For a neck water. Never done that.
Oh wow, yeah. I've run the water that cold, but not because I hit my head and passed out, because I spaced out. I'm a space case sometimes.
Pam, are you able to block grasshopper?
It sounds like Bob when he comes to he sits over
Dan,
Sophie.
Hey, George.
Yeah. All right. I don't mind being like Sophie.
Paul says, I love the Chinese water dragon. I've been doing some research. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of good research out there on the Chinese water dragon.
I know.
It's a shame because the research that I was finding that out of 3 or 4 that you get, 2 or 3 of them are going to die. Like, then we're doing something wrong. Even if they're wild caught, we're doing something wrong if that many of the babies aren't making it. Like, so it's somebody has to. I guess I just lucked out because I got well, I did lose one. I had judge and jury, and the jury died. So I got
Uh-oh.
judge,
Sandy,
and I got.
hi. Oh, there's Mike in the chat. You can come up, Mike.
I can't stay
Hey,
straight.
Mike.
I know Bob posted something in our chat yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's 8:30, and I totally missed the Reptale stream." And then I was like, "Oh wait, no, it's Thursday."
That happened to me for real last Friday. I was like, I was so out of it. Saturday morning, I woke up. I was like, "Did I miss Friday? Did I miss Friday?" I was like, "Oh my God." Yep, I missed Friday. Well,
Welcome, Mike. Did he not come up? Damn it. There he is.
I don't see him.
Maybe.
I don't
No?
see him.
Somebody commented then backstage.
Huh.
What is going on backstage? Comments. I
I
guess
thought
not.
I heard him.
Oh well. Never mind.
Huh.
He's not here yet, but
He might be still in here.
come up.
There's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. You know what that's from? Petticoat.
Petticoat Junction.
Not too many people would know that.
Not many.
Woohoo! I used to love that show. Oh my goodness.
I did too. That was a cool show. It was actually on YouTube or something. I couldn't sleep a few months ago, and I watched 2 or 3 episodes back to back. It was so cool.
I'd have to watch them back to back. I'm sure everything would click again. The theme song has stuck with me. The theme song never went away. And I know it was about a hotel, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the Hooterville whatever train got cut off from
Yep.
the main line about 50 years before that, but he's still run it for no day back and forth between 2 towns, and it's funny. I always thought it was really risque because the daughters would be in the water or swimming or something, skinny
Yep.
dipping, and then throw their petticoats over the side of it. And posted the link in there. Great
I
to see
think I
you
saw
too, Mel.
somewhere that the crocodile guy,
Hi, Soul Taker.
it was his anniversary for when he passed from the
I saw something too.
he got stung by something.
Stung by a
A
ray.
stingray. Yeah, speaking of reptiles, man, he's the original reptile educator, right?
He really is. When Mike said that he got Mike some new snakes, he got 2 more of the African green bush snakes.
What?
Yeah, I can't.
Yep. And a bunch of
Those are
vanillas.
so cool. So cool.
He said they were on underground reptiles, and I've got like 30 things in my basket on there. And I thought, well, I kind of like this is a second choice, but I got like 30 things in there, but they're only $19 for one, and you can get babies for $14 that are like a foot long. And I thought, what the heck? Not going to come up just sitting here acting or sitting here watching bush snakes.
Why can't
But anyway,
why can't we watch the bush snakes too?
I know. Let us see. We don't have to see your face.
Yeah,
We
just
don't
show
wanna
us.
see your mug. We want to see
Just
the
come up
snakes.
and show us the snakes.
So who is
What?
Soul Taker? Hi, Soul Taker. I don't know that name.
He is from the King Frostmare.
he's from
Ah.
Tam Streams.
So he is in the chat saying he can't stay. That's pretty cool. I like seeing new names.
What made me think about underground reptiles was that they have like an American alligator, baby alligators, for $149.99. Anybody can get as long as it's legal in your state and stuff. But you have to be responsible for that. They actually have live alligators for sale on there.
Wow.
Humans, underground reptiles, and I'm like, that would
Like
be
a
so
real
cool.
alligator or like one of those?
A real American alligator.
Oh my.
They're just like hatchlings. It says they're $150, and you can get dwarf caimans that are bigger than that. That they're like $400 or.
My granddaughter tried to get me. Our local fish store has a dwarf caiman. I'm like, absolutely not. No, any one
I
of
always,
the reptiles.
I always think about what are these people going to do with them when they're full grown?
Well, the dwarf caiman doesn't get too big, so I could keep it in a 400-gallon. But still, I'd have to feed it like something that I keep as a pet. You know.
Right. Or something that costs a lot,
Yep.
frozen food or something.
Or baby squirrels. I find baby squirrels and take them to our local ark. There's no way. There's no way I couldn't do it.
They actually have, it's not a caiman, it's an alligator on Snake Discovery. They have one on there.
Oh yeah, they do have one.
Yep.
He's kind of deformed because he was not taken care of in the beginning, so his snout is a little off.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'll stop by Frosty's chat when this is over. I heard there's nothing but gambling and rude people in there.
Where?
Frosty. Frostmare.
Actually, we got some really nice people in there.
Yeah.
And then we got me.
That's the rude people.
Yep. I haven't been over there for a while. I need to get over there too, but I've been so busy and stuff.
They also have some really nice ball pythons, some of the morphs and the genes. Now getting into it a little more for like $150 or $120, and I'm like, this is really good price on underground reptiles.
That's where I got my sick blue-tongued skink, the second one. Azure. I'm listed on their site as a breeder, a wholesaler, and he came in sick, and they're only selling it to wholesalers that could take care of her. So I got her with mouthwash, and I've been treating her and had to do intramuscular injections, and I like them. They were so good, and they called back about 2 weeks later to make sure everything was okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Rex, that's what her name is, like you said. Can't imagine. Of course, I need to move to better condition, but they're doing fine. But they do need to move. And it's not 180.
We can't hear you, Bob.
I thought it was me. You're breaking up.
It's because you got some noise behind you is what it's causing. Can you hear me?
Yep, I heard you say, can you hear me?
I guess Mike's not going to show us, huh?
No, can you imagine? He's keeping all that to himself?
Last time I looked, he didn't even have an unboxing video up.
He says he's acting them. What does that mean? Acclimating?
I guess.
He said, I'm acting the snakes. Or atching?
I think he was it was a typo of him watching.
Watching.
Oh, watching. Wow. Okay, yeah. Well, let us watch too, Mike. Now, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, there's one of the large reptile shows that's close by me. It's called Oaks Reptile Show, and it's in Oaks, Pennsylvania. That's usually where I go. It comes about every couple months, and it's like within an hour of me, and that's where I want to get a lot of my feeders. Like I want to get like 1,000 super worms. Now that I know that the mealworms I can keep in the refrigerator, that was such a game changer. I want to get 1,000 of those.
Just fill up the trays. You don't even have to have.
Oh my God, John would freak out. Oh, he would. There's no way. But I do have a little college dorm like refrigerator that I have turned on.
That's the thing right there.
Acting like a freezer, but I can make it into a refrigerator.
Yeah.
down in my reptile room.
That would be the thing right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a cricket farm, and Jenny Lynn
Ooh.
helped me. She showed me how she did hers. Zach set up pictures and all that, and I can't tell if they're thriving or not. Not many are dying, but I found tiny baby crickets in my fire skink, and
Yeah.
it's habitat in the dirt. I mean, they're everywhere in
Oh
there.
yeah, they'll breed. The problem is their urine smells so bad. I was using vermiculite for the first 4 months, but changing them out, I noticed I had pinhead cricket, so I couldn't even change it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I do with this smell? The smell can't be in my house. It smelled so. The dubia roaches don't smell like that.
Mhm.
The superworms don't smell like that. I don't know why the crickets smell. The
They're
stench
nasty.
is so strong. I don't know how you're gonna adapt to that.
You got a reptile show coming up in Oaks, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there it is. Thank you. Oh, why? That's Saturday after Thanksgiving. So I did ask John if he wanted to go with me because it's just fun. I just want to go with somebody. Like, I don't mind going with my granddaughter, but I don't want to go with someone who's like, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. I
Well,
mean,
that won't be him. He won't be doing that. So.
no, he won't. He won't. But
Maybe you
it'll
could-
also keep me in check.
Maybe you can handle some snakes and get him out.
And I don't think he's got a problem with, he's got a problem with snakes. He's got a problem with the mice.
Oh, okay.
Frozen thawed mice is absolutely not. Like, we have a mouse problem in my house. There's no way. He was packing his bags. He's moving out. It's just not, he can't handle it.
One of the green tree snakes, it's the American, the native green tree snakes, eat crickets. That's the main diet, and bugs
No way.
instead of lizards and mice. I saved them to my shopping cart too on Underground Reptiles because I was like, I don't want these things that eat other, reptiles and mice and stuff. And there are some green snakes that are tree snakes that eat the little skinny ones, and they're native. They're everywhere. They're real expensive.
Okay.
Sadly, I saw they had one of those beam snakes that are so fast. Ed and I saw one at one of the reptile things we went to a couple months ago, and they're super fast. But Clint's Reptile was talking about those a couple of weeks ago. And they are awesome, but they hardly ever arrive. These they said were bred, so.
Right.
And only like $70. I'm like, the prices on this stuff, I have a house full of stuff if I don't be careful.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because, like I set up I got to set up for tree frog or for the poison dart frogs. I got the setup for the chameleon that I don't have. I got the setup. That's the problem. I love the setups, so I make them. So of course, when I go to a reptile show, I was like, oh, I already have it all set up and ready to go. I got to be very careful. Very careful.
So I close a tank. I don't have anything to tell in right now. So.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna.
So I'm wondering, is there anybody else that's in southern Pennsylvania or mid Pennsylvania that's going to the reptile show in Oaks, Pennsylvania? It's a Saturday after Thanksgiving. And that might be a fun meetup if anybody was going to go. I don't know who lives in this area. Shouldn't I know that? Bob, it sounds like it's. Oh, that's all right.
I set up to see if it sounds better. Is that any better?
I think it sounds good.
Sounds a little bit better to me.
I love John.
I can put on these earbuds and see how that sounds. People are usually sorry when I put these on. We'll see.
Yeah, Lucky was saying that Rex from Snake Discovery was raised in a small enclosure with just a water dish. Didn't even have his own pond, and that's why he's so disfigured.
So sad.
And that's what kind of scares me with people getting like animals. And because trust me, I'm not judging anybody that doesn't do research before animal. Like I've had 4 kids, they've just brought stuff home, and I've been in that boat a lot of times. But when we're talking like an alligator or Chinese water dragon or like a tegu, because I so want a tegu, but I know I don't know if I can handle the tegu in 8 years from now. You know what I mean?
They had a bunch of tegus on there, Susie Q.
Oh,
Some of them were 60 or 70, and some were 4 or 5,000, depending on how rare and all that.
I want a tegu. It'd be like a puppy, but now with the kitten, like right now it'd be cute. But then as the tegu grows, I don't know, do they just have to get used to each other, or is it something that would eat my kitten?
I don't know. Never kept tegus. Maybe somebody knows in the chat, but Steamthought had a tegu. I don't know if he still does or not.
I remember that.
Who does?
Bob Steenfott.
Oh, yeah. What happened to Bob? I gotta see if Bob's okay to come on our reptiles again. He never came on before because he was moving and a lot of bad things were happening.
I know. I can't believe he put that ahead of coming on.
Life, right? I can't believe he put life ahead of us. What?
Sucks. Our aquatic universe, Mike.
So, our aquatic universe and Legacy Explorer, do we know them? Are they other people that?
Legacy is Melvin, because he said, always nice to see you, Bob.
Okay.
So I know that's him for sure.
Who's our aquatic universe with Mike V? Is that
I've
a new
seen
name
him.
person?
I've seen him a couple places.
Well,
I'm
welcome.
not sure where.
I can't click on his name in StreamYard and it won't take me anywhere.
No.
Does it do it in YouTube? Maybe I'll see.
I was at the Clash Tall Guy.
Oh.
That might be.
Oh, okay. that helps, says no one ever. The tall guy. Were you in the hospitality room a lot? There was a very tall guy in the hospitality room. There's a lot of people in the hospitality. That was kind of fun. I mean, I had a nervous breakdown beforehand, but it was fun when it was over. I'd never do that again. Never do that again. Other people are like, you did such a good job. You're going to do it again? I'm like, no. I don't think people understand the anxiety I had beforehand. Like, oh my God, I talked about it on every stream. They got, like, I'm not making it up. It's horrible. It's almost like you're having a heart attack. Like, there's no way.
I don't have it that bad, but I can relate. Some
Yeah.
days I get up and like, oh, I have a doctor's appointment, and oh my God, am I going to wear shorts or pants? And then I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, nobody cares what you wear. Get your clothes on and go. I just have to catch myself sometimes, and I'm like, oh my
I
God.
wish I had that inner voice that could smack me.
Yeah, that's what I have to do.
I've had anxiety anytime I've had like a one-man art show where you got to go to the open house and everybody wants to meet you.
Yes.
And it's like, I get sick.
Yep.
I literally get sick, Susie. I'll start like coughing. I'll get up at like, say, an art show that the open house starts at 7:00 at night. Yep. I'll wake up that morning coughing, and by the time the art show comes around, it sounds like I have pneumonia.
Yep. Yep.
And then the next day, after the open house is over, the next day I wake up and I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get it. Especially with art, because that's your whole insides. That's like you're really turning yourself inside out and putting yourself out there.
I can't imagine.
It's not like something you garbage picked and painted. Like, this is you. You know, yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah. I was just putting out hot dogs.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
I get it. He said he was there a lot, and his wife was there too. She's a foot shorter.
Well, awesome. I hope I met you. I hope I met you in person.
Amen. Wear what you want. I do though. Right. I'll get up and I'll start just anything trivial, and I'm like, I know I have to do it, but and I'm like, oh my God, you've got yourself worked up into a froth here, and all you're doing is taking a shower and leaving.
And
Jesus.
sometimes I actually have to make a dry run if I'm going somewhere I've never been before.
Yeah.
It's like because I can't handle it. It's like I will shut down and I won't go. I don't care how important it is. But John Bag of Donuts is so sweet because he'll say, let's go for a ride. I'm like,
That's good.
yeah. And then once I do it once, I'm like, I got this.
We
I
had
think
that
it took me
event.
2.5 years to go live. 2.5
Yeah,
years. I'm like, I
yeah.
can't go live.
It took me a long time also.
Yeah.
I didn't go to that Knoxville
He said they
aquatic.
sat next to you at the table in that room.
You met me. I sat right next to you at the table in that room.
Was I a lunatic at the time?
Was she loose? Was she lucid? Or,
Oh my gosh, that's the other thing too. Being clean and sober for 28 years, dealing with all that. There was cases and cases of alcohol, and in the back of my head, like I know
I
better. In the
bet.
back of my head, it's like this is free booze. Nobody's gonna know. This is free booze.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna know. Everybody, trust me. They'll have the police there if I did that. Made it through.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think honestly, it's what's stopping me from doing videos.
Really?
Yeah, I had a thick skin for a long time, and it's not as thick anymore. Like my lives, it's easy because it's just my people coming to the chat. It's support. It feels good. But when I do videos, sometimes there's people who watch I don't know, never met, will never meet, and they can be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, you've got all
Oh
your
yeah, I've had
all
a couple
your
comments on
hellions there.
videos that just kind of made me go,
Yeah.
When I did my first video and I did like the introduction to it was, or it was one of my first ones, and the introduction I had like Buddy running around in the yard,
Yeah.
and that was just the introduction. And this one gal whose name I won't say because she's still around, and she's a member of the Fish Fam, but she went on my video and she says, "Why would you have a dog at the beginning of your video? Is it even your dog?" And I was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. Like it's hard enough doing this. What is this? Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Don't be sorry.
Oh, there's another piece of the puzzle right there.
I'm telling you, Pam, people are just so weird sometimes.
Oh, they are, yeah.
They really are.
Like, I'm an odd fella, I would say. A strange bird. But I like being me.
Right.
I don't need people. Like, it's very hard for me to just be me. Well, I've got to that point in my life I could be me. I don't need people like putting me down or making fun of me or mocking me. Then I start questioning myself. Like, I want to be stronger. I want to be that person of their own courage of their conviction. But I don't think I'm quite there yet. I don't quite think so. But I want to be.
Yeah.
So
You've got all of your
everybody, I'd be happy. Okay? Can we try that?
While you're doing well, Kent just wanted to say hello. Krieg? Oh,
That's what I do on my Facebook, Lucky Stone. My Facebook page you probably never want to go to because I post some fairly rude memes at times.
Congratulations, Fish Dreams. That's pretty powerful stuff. Let me get a what?
It's awesome.
Hi, Craig. I hope you're doing good.
Oh, that's how you pronounce that.
I was just going to say that's how you pronounce it. I like that. I've never seen it written like that.
I'm looking for snake names. My handsome man, Craig. Oh, that's
that's my ex-husband's name. That would be a good name.
That's Grasshopper's handsome man. Okay. All right. Scott answer.
I think I've come to the resolve that I'm not going to have a snake. I need John Bag of Donuts in my life right now.
Well, yeah. He may wake up one day.
Enjoy all my other guys.
What about if you could get one of those green bush snakes that are in your backyard and keep it?
If I could find a snake outside, I would set him up. I would hook him up. I would hook
Yeah,
him
but
up.
just imagine the first time you had to tell them that it got loose and there's a snake in the house somewhere.
Yeah, that would not go over well. I could say, well, he's catching the mice.
If you have mice, supposedly you have a snake in your house, or you have had a snake in your house.
Well, I have mice, and my kitten is amazing. Like, I have gotten so good at capturing the mice from her and setting them free in the park across the street because I can't watch her torture them.
No,
And she doesn't seem to want to kill them. She wants to play with them.
that's the way Tibby, one of my cats, every winter I get little tiny mice, and he
Yeah,
wants to play with them, and I have to get them away and throw them back out.
that's what I
So
do.
that,
I take them all the way
Oh
up.
my gosh. I used to have this one house, I had a cat door, and Mario would bring stuff in. And one time I walked in the bathroom and there was this little tiny field mouse, which they're so much cuter than house mice. I mean, they got these great big ears and stuff, and they're just adorable, right?
Let me ask John back a donut.
So I shut the bathroom door and tried to catch it. And my daughter came in and helped me, and we spent like an hour before we got this thing in a corner and threw a kitchen towel over it, caught it, right? And we're both like sweaty and everything from trying to catch this mouse. So I gave it to my daughter and I told her to go let it loose outside. So we're standing in the kitchen talking and saying, "Oh my God, it took forever to catch that thing." And we're talking back and forth. I looked over my daughter's shoulder and saw Mario walking in with that mouse in his mouth.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what I did. I yelled, "No!" And he dropped it. And it ran across the kitchen floor and went behind the stove.
oh my God!
And then it took us like, I'm not kidding, like 2.5 hours to catch that thing. We had the refrigerator pulled out away from the wall, and the stove pulled out away from the wall, and we had to like, oh man, we finally caught it again though. And I told her, okay, I'm going to hold Mario, and you take that thing at least a block away and turn.
You have to go. Yeah, you have to go pretty far. So we used to have baseboard heat. So there is like these little 1/2-inch holes in all of our floor. So if we have a mouse up here, he's going to get down into the drop ceiling down in the basement, and then from there he's going to be in the fish room, and they're gone. They're gone.
Yeah,
They're still in the house, but they're not here anymore. It's like there's no way I could catch a mouse.
You want to hear my worst mouse story?
Oh my God!
We had a fireplace, and you know how fireplaces have those little air vents above them, right? So the kids were gone to school, and my ex-husband was gone to work, and I took a shower, and I just wrapped the house coat around myself and went out in the living room and sat down. And I was reading a magazine, and I looked up, and there was a mouse crawling out of the vent, like out of the vent into the house. So I rolled up the magazine, and I swatted it.
Uh-oh.
Well, it dropped down into, like I had an old wooden apple crate full of newspaper to start fires with, and it dropped down into that box. And I thought, okay, I'll fix you because it scrambled down underneath, you know. So I just picked up the whole box, and I took it out the kitchen door, just right out the kitchen door onto the porch, and we had a bunch of outside cats, and I called, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty," right? So I had like 6 kittens standing there meowing at me. And the mouse, you know, they're not paying no attention to the box. So I kicked the box a couple times and it didn't come out. So I bent down and I turned the box upside down. And the mouse came running out of the box, ran between my legs, and started up the back of my house coat.
Oh.
And I whipped that house coat off, and I'm screaming and shaking the house coat. And then it suddenly dawned on me that I'm outside and I'm totally naked.
You're naked. You're naked as a jaybird.
Shaking the house coat.
You're
Okay, to add insult to injury, it dropped out of the house coat and ran back into the kitchen and disappeared. So yeah, that was my mouse story.
I'm glad we're on that's getting demonetized, Pam.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Oh, it's like Yazzie knew every time I put this mic on. He has to,
Aw.
yeah, has
Oh,
to lay
there's
on
the
it.
Aussie.
Mike canceled his home health care. I was waiting to hear the next episode, the next fight night. I was waiting to see what your sister did to that nurse. Going back to work one day a week. Okay. You must be doing better. Thick frost outside. I go.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's getting cold outside now here. It's like staying freezing. I go out in the morning and the duck water's frozen. So mice are coming in now. They're trying to come in.
Oh,
I
really?
think we've sealed it up as good as we could.
Right now it is 6:27, so you know it's going to get a lot colder, and it is 1 degrees.
One?
Mm.
One
Mine is
degree.
just under 32, and I thought that was bad.
No, last night it got down to -4, but I think it's going to get colder tonight because it's 1 degrees already, and it's only 6:30. So yeah.
Yeah, we're getting down to 25 tonight, 20 Sunday night. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
We didn't even hit 20 for a high, Susie.
Oh,
I think our high was like 14 today.
I have one of
Yeah.
those low grade heaters underneath the chicken water. Like it's just about this big around, and then it's like a 5-gallon bucket. And it's supposed to just
Yeah.
keep that bottom layer from freezing.
Yeah.
So the top layer kind of freezes, the bottom layer stays liquid, and then I can like fill it up once every other day, and at least they have water. But I don't have anything for like that for the duck. So I don't know what I would do if I was in your like. You'd have solid ice cubes.
Yep. Yep. It's pretty frozen outside.
Wow.
Pam, I have a snake loose in the house still, and I haven't put that much effort, nearly like what you did for that mouse. My God.
I know. I'll never forget that feeling. I'm like squealing and dancing around, and then all of a sudden it hits me like I'm outside and I'm naked. You know?
And screaming, making a spectacle.
And screaming, yes.
Yeah, but you're in Florida, Marty. It's 30 something here. What do I think it's eating? Probably the mice I'm not seeing that Chibi hasn't been playing with. I'm sure it's finding something. I haven't smelled anything. You know, it was a big
didn't you tell
snake.
me that they could go a long time without eating?
Yeah.
Without losing weight?
It had just eaten like 2 days before that, and it is a African house snake, so I'm sure it knows how to take care of itself. It could have gotten outside. I mean, you know, if mice get in, things can get out. So.
They can get out, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I haven't smelled anything. I'm real not bad. I can smell something if something's off.
Yeah.
I don't like bad smells. So anyway,
I know
it's
that
not,
smell a mile away.
It's not dead in the house anywhere. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Fish Stream
Well,
says it's usually 10 degrees less where you are, Bob.
Yeah, it's in the 30s here. So I don't know exactly what. It was 40 when I came in before the stream.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
I know, right?
I wish it was 40 here.
It is nice.
Fish Stream said, I love house coats. They need to make those again. They never stop making them.
Yeah.
You just got to go in the old lady section. I still got mine. Yep.
Mine is a big terry cloth one. I think my mother gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
It won't hardly close in the front. I was skinny then, so it won't hardly close. Just barely.
Got a visual, Bob.
Yeah. Those boxers. Just ask my neighbors.
That's funny.
It is.
Well, I know we kind of got off topic, but I thought it was a great stream, guys.
It was fun.
Me too.
It was a fun stream.
We had a lot of interaction from the chat, so I guess they enjoyed it too. So
yeah,
I did.
That was good.
So it is time to shut it down, though, guys. So I guess we'll tell everybody good night and thank you for coming in. And thanks everybody on the panel. And we will see you next week. I'm not sure whose channel it's going to be on, depending upon if we have a guest or not.
Now it's Black Friday.
Oh,
So it'll be fun.
yeah.
And it's the day before the reptile show.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'll be good.
Awesome. All right.
So
Thanks for
we'll see everybody
hosting, Pam.
next week. Just
Bye.
watch for the Reptales on one of our channels. And thanks everybody. Good
And
night.
watch Facebook Reptales for the
Facebook will have
announcement.
it. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.